Technonauts is a podcast that deep dives into digital transformation, startups, and technology. Hosted by AI hosts Ted and Samantha, Technonauts helps startup founders and mid-sized business owners navigate the world of technopreneurship. Episode 5. From Buzzwords to Bottom Lines. Transforming LLMs into profit machines for CXOs.
Okay, so LLMs, everybody's talking about them, right?
Right.
Reading about them. But sometimes it feels like we're all just throwing around jargon.
Yeah.
Not really getting into it.
Yeah.
We'll go deep on this one.
Yeah.
Using the CXO guide to ROI from AI that you sent over.
And that's key here, right?
Yeah.
ROI, everybody loves a flashy headline.
Right.
But you're trying to cut through the noise.
Exactly.
And figure out what really matters for your business.
Yes, and?
This isn't about sounding smart
Right.
at cocktail party. This is about understanding the real potential here.
Yes, and the potential is huge EE. But let's be real, it's easy to get lost in the hype. That's why I love that Bruce Lee quote from Chapter 2.
Yeah.
The most dangerous person is the one who listens, thinks, and observes.
So true.
Right.
In this world of AI overload, information is everywhere, but real understanding. That's the differentiator.
100%. So to really understand how to use these tools, we need to start with the basics. What are LLMs? Really, imagine you're explaining this to, say, a brilliant investor friend who doesn't quite get all the tech jargon. How are you explaining this?
I'd say imagine a computer that doesn't just read, but understands language almost like a human. We're talking about machines that can write different kinds of creative content, translate languages, answer your questions in an informative way, and even generate different creative text formats like poems, code, scripts, musical pieces, email, letters, etc. They are part of this bigger world of generative AI, which we'll get into later.
Okay.
But for now, just know that LLMs are the brains behind a lot of the AI magic you're seeing.
Okay, so it's not just about crunching numbers anymore. It's about AI actually getting what we're saying, the nuances, the intent.
Exactly.
But this didn't just appear overnight.
Right.
There's a whole history here that most people skip over because they're too busy chasing the latest headline.
And that's where understanding the milestones comes in handy. Forget Deep Blue beating Kasparov at chess. That was impressive, but limited.
Yeah.
Think about Google. In 2012, they created an AI that could identify cat videos online. That may sound simple, but it was a huge deal. For the first time, AI was doing something no one expected, and it learned purely by watching YouTube just like we do.
That's such a good point. It's easy to forget how those aha moments build upon each other, and then things really started accelerating.
Fast forward a few years, and you've got Daily generating crazy realistic images from text descriptions you type in. You've got ChatGPT having conversations. The pace of development is mind-blowing.
It's like we went from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye. So under the hood, how do these LLMs actually work? Give me the simplified version, no need to make me pull out my old computer science textbook.
Deal. Think of it like this. Imagine teaching a computer to read by breaking down words into Lego blocks. That's essentially what tokenization does. LLMs process information by chopping up language into these little pieces of meaning.
So it's like they're learning the building blocks of language just like we did as kids, but at super speed.
Exactly. Now imagine taking all those Lego blocks, those words and phrases, and scattering them across a giant map. Words that are similar in meaning, like king and queen, would be clustered together. Words that are unrelated, like bicycle and democracy, would be miles apart. That's kind of how embeddings work. LLMs learn to see these relationships between words and understand their meaning based on their position in this vast sea of data.
Okay, so they're not just seeing words, they're understanding the connections, the context.
Right.
Mind-blowing. But humans, we don't pay attention to everything at once.
Right.
There's got to be a way these LLMs focus, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be like trying to read a whole library at the same time.
You hit the nail on the head. That's where attention mechanisms come in. Think about reading a really boring report, your mind starts to wander, right?
Right.
Early LLMs had that problem too. But attention mechanisms are like a spotlight, allowing the AI to focus on the most important parts of a sentence, just like our brains do.
No more AI daydreaming through crucial information. So we've got these powerful prediction engines that can process language like humans, but who are the masterminds building these things? It feels like there's a new AI company popping up every day. It's a jungle out there. Give me the lay of the land.
You're right, it's a crowded space. But Chapter 3 does a good job of highlighting the key players. Of course, there's OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT. They've definitely been making waves.
To say the least, ChatGPT seems to be everywhere these days.
Yeah, and for good reason. Their GPT-4 model is very powerful, but they're not the only game in town. Google's got their own heavy hitters. Palm and Gemini.
Gemini, that's the one that's supposed to be multimodal, right?
Right.
Can it actually understand images and text at the same time? That seems like something straight out of Star Trek.
It sounds futuristic, but it's already here. Imagine showing Gemini a picture of a cat wearing a hat. It could then write you a funny song about it, compose the music, even create an animated video to go with it. That's the power of multimodal AI.
Okay, you officially blew my mind. So we've got OpenAI and Google battling it out. But what about the other players? Is it a two-horse race at this point?
Not quite. There's Anthropic, the company behind Claude. They're laser-focused on AI safety,
Okay.
making sure these systems are aligned with human values. It's a crucial consideration as this technology gets more and more powerful.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We can't just unleash these super intelligent AIs without some safeguards. But tell me more about this whole open source versus proprietary thing. I hear those terms thrown around a lot, but what's the difference for someone like me who's more on the business side?
It's a good question, and it essentially boils down to who controls the keys to the kingdom. Some companies like OpenAI develop their LLMs behind closed doors. You can use their tools through APIs, but you don't get to see the recipe, so to speak. That's the proprietary model.
So it's like ordering a pre-made meal kit. It's convenient, but you're limited to what they give you.
Exactly. Then you have open source models like Meta's Llama. It's like sharing the entire recipe book with the world. Anyone can use it, modify it, even build their own versions.
So open source is like going full Top Chef, creating your own AI masterpiece from scratch. That's pretty amazing. But let's get down to brass tacks here. Can these things actually make me money? That's what I really care about.
Now you're speaking my language. Chapter 4 of your CXO guide dives deep into the ROI of LLMs. And the answer is a resounding yes, but only if you know where to look.
All right, hit me with it. Give me the million-dollar use cases.
Let's start with the obvious customer service. Everyone and their grandma has interacted with a chatbot these days, but LLMs are taking them to a whole new level. We're not talking about those clunky bots that just frustrate customers. LLMs can handle complex queries, personalize responses, and even understand sentiment.
Okay, so no more getting stuck in chatbot purgatory. I can get behind that. But do we have any hard numbers to prove they're actually making a difference? I need more than just anecdotal evidence here.
Absolutely. The guide mentions H&M, the clothing retailer. By implementing an LLM-powered chatbot, they saw a 40% reduction in customer service calls.
Wow.
That's huge. Imagine cutting your customer support costs by almost half. Not only that, but their customer satisfaction went up by 25%.
Okay, now those are numbers any CXO can get excited about.
Yeah.
Less overhead, happier customers. That's a win-win. What else you got?
How about this? Imagine being Lego, trying to stay ahead of the curve in the ever-evolving world of toys. They're using LLMs to analyze social media, online reviews, even kids' drawings to understand what kids actually want in a toy.
That's next-level market research. It's not just about replacing human creativity. It's about using these tools to tap into a deeper level of understanding.
Exactly. It's about augmenting human capabilities. And it gets even more interesting in the realm of product development.
All right, this is where I get really intrigued. How are LLMs shaking things up in the product world?
Remember how I mentioned LLMs being used to build other AI systems? Well, imagine a platform that uses LLMs to crank out entire software applications 4 times faster than traditional methods. Your guide mentions a company called Zamun AI that's doing just that.
Hold on. AI, building AI at lightning speed. That feels like we're stepping into the Twilight Zone.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
And the implications are enormous. Imagine slashing your development time and costs, getting innovative products to market before your competition even knows what hit them. That's the power of LLMs in product development.
Okay, so far we've got faster development cycles, happier customers. But what about marketing? I feel like every marketing guru on the planet is claiming that AI will replace them tomorrow.
There's definitely a lot of hype out there, but the reality is that LLMs are already revolutionizing how companies connect with their customers. Take Coca-Cola, for example.
Coca-Cola. What are they doing using AI to invent new, Soda flavors.
Even better, they used LLMs to analyze years of customer data, social media posts, purchase history, you name it, to personalize their ad copy.
So instead of just blasting out generic messages, they're tailoring their ads to individual customers. That's smart.
Exactly. And the results speak for themselves. They saw a 30% increase in click-through rates, meaning more people were actually engaging with their ads.
That's a game changer. Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here.
Yeah.
But we've only scratched the surface, right?
Yeah.
What about other industries? Surely this technology has even more tricks up its sleeve.
Oh, absolutely. Think about finance and industry drowning in data. LLMs are being used for everything from fraud detection to risk assessment.
I can see that. Imagine an AI that can analyze millions of transactions per second, spotting fraudulent activity in real time. Talk about a game changer for security.
Exactly. And it can personalize financial advice based on an individual's risk tolerance, investment goals, all that good stuff. And speaking of data-heavy industries, let's not forget about healthcare. Imagine an AI that can sift through mountains of medical research to identify potential cures for diseases or personalized treatment plans based on a patient's unique genetic makeup.
That sounds like the future of medicine. But it also feels like we're talking about some seriously complex tasks. Are we really at the point where AI can handle that level of responsibility?
We're getting closer every day. Look at what JP Morgan Chase is already doing. They're using an LLM to review loan agreements.
Wow.
A task that used to take their legal team thousands of hours. Now, the AI does the heavy lifting, freeing up those lawyers to focus on more complex cases.
That's a massive efficiency boost. And I bet the lawyers are happy to hand off that tedious paperwork. It seems like LLMs are popping up everywhere, from customer service to finance to even the legal world. It's clear these LLMs have the potential to transform industries left and right, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit intimidated by all this. It feels like we're on the verge of something truly groundbreaking.
We are, but remember, this technology is still in its infancy. Think about the internet back in the early 90s. People saw the potential, but no one could have predicted how it would completely revolutionize the way we live, work, and interact with the world. LLMs are poised to have a similar impact, and we're only just scratching the surface.
Okay, now my mind is officially racing. What's next for LLMs? What does the future hold? Give me a sneak peek into what's coming down the pipeline.
Buckle up, because things are about to get even more wild. We're on the cusp of what's called multimodal AI. You know how we've been talking about LLMs understanding language?
Right.
Now imagine they can see and hear, too.
Hold on. Are we talking about AI that can understand images, videos, audio? Like if I showed it a picture of a sunset, it could write me a poem about it.
Exactly. Google is already making strides in this area with its Palm-E model. They've even used it to control robots that can perform tasks in the real world, like grabbing objects or navigating obstacles.
Robots that can actually understand what we're asking them to do.
Yeah.
That's straight out of a sci-fi movie. And you're saying this is actually happening now.
It's still early days, but the potential is mind-blowing. Imagine the possibilities in fields like healthcare, where an AI could analyze medical images, read patient records, and listen to doctor's notes all at the same time to provide more accurate diagnoses and treatment plans.
It's like giving doctors an AI-powered assistant that can process information from multiple sources at once. That would be revolutionary. But with all this talk about robots and AI, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement and forget about the human element. What does this all mean for the future of work? Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
It's a question a lot of people are asking. And it's understandable to be concerned, but remember, technology has always disrupted the workforce. Think about the invention of the automobile.
Right.
It replaced horse-drawn carriages, but it also created entirely new industries and job opportunities. The same thing happened with computers, the internet, and now AI.
So it's not about AI replacing humans. It's about AI creating new opportunities for humans.
Exactly. The key is to be prepared. We need to focus on upskilling and reskilling our workforce, equipping people with the knowledge and skills they'll need to thrive in this AI-powered future.
That makes sense. So instead of fearing the robot uprising, we should be focusing on how to work alongside these AI systems, using them to enhance our own abilities.
Precisely. The future belongs to those who embrace lifelong learning, who are adaptable, and who are constantly seeking out new knowledge and skills.
You know, that's a powerful message. We can't be afraid of change. We have to embrace it.
Yeah.
This is an incredible opportunity to rethink how we work, how we learn, and how we interact with technology.
I couldn't agree more, and that's what makes this whole field so exciting. We're on the cusp of a new era,
Right.
and the possibilities are limitless.
And that, my friends, is the perfect note to end this deep dive on. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the technical intricacies of LLMs to their mind-blowing potential to transform industries and reshape the future of work.
It's been a pleasure diving into this with you. Remember, the future is not something that happens to us, it's something we create.
So stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay engaged. The future of AI is in our hands.
Technonauts is available on Spotify and YouTube. For more information, visit www.technonauts.show.